Commissioner Reed is absent. Commissioner Rodriguez-Elkins.
Here.
Commissioner Sperber.
Here.
City Attorney Brandon Kendall.
Here.
Planner Sienna Reed. Here. I have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll open this up to general public comment. This is, you can make a comment on anything you want. Does anybody wish to make a comment? I see none. We'll close public comment. May I get approval of the agenda, please?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the agenda as submitted.
I second.
All right, we got a move by Commissioner Pritzos, a second by Commissioner Kramer. Do we have any comments or questions, commissioners? All right, let's vote. And it passes unanimously. All right, may I get a motion for the approval of minutes?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes of the Planning Commission study session held on Tuesday, November 18th, 2025, and the Planning Commission meeting held on Thursday, November 20th, 2025.
I second.
All right, we got a move by Commissioner Pritzos, a second by Commissioner Rodriguez-Elkins. Commissioners, do we have any comments or questions on the minutes?
No.
All right, let's vote. All right, the move passes unanimously. All right, we're in for general business. PCN 12002/BE 25-0002.
Good evening, Chair Rothman, members of the commission. My name is Mary Ann, I'm here to present this item to you today. The vicinity map shown here on your screen illustrates the boundary of the 148-acre Legends at Sparks Marina plan development, shown in blue. It's generally located west of Sparks Boulevard and north of Interstate 80. This is a request to review and approve architectural elevations for a 79,748 square foot, 4-story, 342 space parking garage on an 8.9 acre portion outlined here in red of a larger 148 acre site within the Legends at Sparks Marina plan development. Project is subject to the regulations within the Legends at Sparks Marina plan development handbook. Just refer to it as handbook from here forward. As such, the Planning Commission must review the proposed architecture for conformance with the handbook's architectural standards. The parking garage is proposed to be located to the north of the Legends Bay Casino. The existing casino is shown here. Right over here down south is Shields for reference, and the marina is over here where my cursor is wiggling. So the proposed parking garage is proposed to be located right now over an existing parking lot. It's 50 feet, 2 inches tall, be located within that existing surface parking lot to the north. The footprint of the proposed garage will take up 150 of the existing surface parking spaces. Proposed parking garage will provide a total of 342 parking spaces on the 4 parking levels, resulting in a net increase of 224 parking spaces over what's already there. After construction of the parking garage, a total of 474 garage and surface parking spaces will be maintained on the site that is owned by the Legends Bay Casino. So here are multiple views of the proposed parking garage. The handbook allows for staff level review and approval of new construction for projects through the administrative review process. As such, the parking structure is being reviewed through administrative review PCN 1605 AR 25-0023, pending the Planning Commission's approval of the architectural elevations. Similar to other architectural elevation review items recently seen by the Planning Commission in the Legends at Sparks Marina Plan Development and the Stonebrook Plan Developments, the balance of the parking structure and site plan are not subject to review by the Planning Commission. The handbook includes architectural standards to provide for a consistent level of design quality and visual cohesion, and that architectural design and exterior building materials shall be consistent with the architectural design of the main retail center and existing casino. The handbook does not provide strict guidance for architectural standards of parking garages in particular. However, the handbook's general architectural standards that require new buildings be compatible with the shopping center and outbuildings apply to this project. In addition, the handbook does include landscaping standard that requires planter boxes be provided on the exterior of each floor of a parking garage. And if you look at the screen, you can see here on each level, there are planter boxes applied with landscaping materials. The proposed design of the parking garage provides the required planter boxes on each floor in compliance with the handbook. However, during the review of this project, city staff has been informed by the applicant that they do not intend to construct the planter boxes and will pursue an amendment to the handbook to remove this requirement. However, until an application to amend the handbook is received by staff and approved by, or recommended approval to the City Council by the Planning Commission and approved by the City Council, the planter boxes shown in the proposed architectural elevations are required in compliance with the architectural requirements of the current handbook. Should such time the handbook be amended, then they would need to come back for another architectural review, I believe. We'll have to see at that time, but I think that's probably going to be what will need to happen. Okay. Oops, still there. The proposed colors and materials of the parking garage shown in Exhibit 4 in your packets are as follows. Concrete panels in dark brown and bronze, stone to match that's incorporated into the elevations of the casino, red brick planters to match existing adjacent to the Legends Bay Casino, and LED light strip to match Legends Bay Casino. The existing casino building has previously been determined by the Planning Commission to conform to the architectural standards in the handbook based on the use of color, facade materials, and articulation as required for non-residential development in the Legends Shopping Center. So staff believes that the proposed parking garage demonstrates compatibility with the existing Legends Bay Casino and carries compatible elements throughout the project. Of note, there are no specific findings required for an architectural building elevations review. However, the Planning Commission is tasked by the handbook to find the project compatible with surrounding Legends development in both architectural style, building materials, and colors. I have provided the suggested, I didn't, sorry, I need to change that. That's not the recommended motion, this is just the general recommendation. We do recommend approval. I do have the applicant here if you have any questions of the applicant. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Commissioners, do we have any questions for staff?
I have one, Mr. Chair. Danny, is, like, for my curiosity, is the materials, do they just match the actual casino, or are some of them also like the same materials in the rest of the, like the shopping district?
If I may answer, both. Both. So the casino itself has stone and brick, which is also a material that is carried all throughout Legends plan development from the shopping center to the outbuildings. In particular, though, the brown, the stucco, and that the brownness is something that is, I think, unique to the casino, and the garage carries that forward.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any more questions for staff? Does the applicant want to add anything? Okay. Commissioners, do you have a question for the applicant at all?
No.
All right. I will entertain a motion.
Chair, I move to approve the architectural elevations for 79,748 square foot, four-story, 314 parking garage as proposed in BE 25-0002, fulfillment of the requirements set forth in the Legends Sparks Marina Handbook, Plan Development Handbook. Redundant.
Second.
All right, we got a move by Commissioner Kramer, a second by Commissioner Nieberline. Commissioners, do we have any further discussion?
No.
All right, please vote. All right, motion approved unanimously.
Thank you.
All right, we're on to public hearing items. PCN 06024/CU 25-0014.
Good evening, Chair Rossin and members of the Planning Commission. For the record, Kim Mock, Planning Technician with the City of Sparks. This item before you tonight is a request for a conditional use permit to allow the establishment and operation of a recreation and sports facility, specifically a golf simulator with a 2,596 square foot existing commercial building located in the Los Altos Crossing Shopping Center at 5318 Sparks Boulevard. The shopping center is part of the Kylie Ranch South Plan Development Handbook, which allows the establishment of a recreation and sports facility subject to a conditional use permit. The subject site is outlined in red and is generally located north of Sparks Boulevard, west of Caldera Drive, and east of Village Knoll Drive. You may recall the Planning Commission approved an application for Orange Theory Fitness on the opposite side of this building in June of 2024. The existing building is 9,647 square feet and was constructed in 2008 and approved by administrative review. The 2,596 square foot tenant space is within a space previously occupied by Kelly Moore Paint. Entrance to the On-Man Golf Simulator is through a dedicated app which will open the electronic door lock. This app is available to members of the golf facility only. The app will allow customers to book time slots in 30-minute increments, ensuring no overlap of bookings. A member of the golf club may bring guests, such as a golf pro, club fitter, as well as friends. The maximum occupation of the facility is 25 people per the current building configuration. The Kylie Ranch South Plan Development Handbook limits the hours of operation to 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. The handbook defers to the Sparks Municipal Code, which requires one parking space for every 200 square feet of building space for a minor recreation facility. The 2,596 square foot facility requires 13 parking spaces. A total of 324 spaces currently exist on the site, with 147 required for existing uses. This is the floor plan with the proposed layout of the golf simulator, including the bays, the lounge, the break room, and the restroom facilities. And these are examples of the golf bays. There will be a total of 3 simulators on site. The existing shopping center was developed in accordance with specific landscaping requirements in the Kylie Ranch South Handbook. The intent of the landscaping requirements are to provide a high-quality shopping center, design and provide for Excuse me, let me rephrase that. The intent of the landscaping requirements are to provide a high-quality shopping center design and provide for landscaping buffers along roadways and internal driveways. Staff believes the overall shopping center is currently in compliance with the handbook. Here are some additional photos of the site. With the background and analysis concluded, I'm going to move on to the findings. There are 5 findings the Planning Commission is required to make in order to approve the conditional use permit. Finding C1 is concerned with conformance with the comprehensive plan. Staff believes that the proposed recreation and sports facility will advance goal MG1 by supporting economic vitality and fostering vibrancy by allowing for a new business specializing in recreation and fitness. The proposed recreation and sports facility will advance goal MG2 by allowing the Los Altos Crossing Shopping Center to maintain a mix of commercial uses, as well as offering recreational and health opportunities for Sparks residents. Staff believes that the proposed golf simulator will advance policy EV8 by supporting private investments that will provide a new service in this area that we believe can improve the quality of life for current and future residents for the city of Sparks. Finding C2, the subject site is surrounded by existing and future planned commercial uses to the south, east, and west within the Los Altos Crossing Shopping Center. Adjacent to the subject site, located to the north, are existing single-family residential homes as part of the Kylie Ranch 2C Unit 4 subdivision. Staff worked with the developer during the original site plan review process to create a design for the building and detailed landscaping standards that are intended to mitigate the impact of commercial uses on the adjacent single-family homes. Staff believes that finding C2 can be made due to the design and construction of the existing building, the mature landscaping, masonry wall, and the landscape berm, which have been specifically placed to mitigate impacts from businesses in the shopping center, as well as provide for compatibility to the adjacent properties. Finding C3, the subject site was previously developed in 2008 with a commercial building and no new construction is proposed. Staff doesn't believe approval of the conditional use permit would impair the availability of natural resources or the region's ability to support its population. Finding C4, conditions of approval number 8 addresses access by members of the golf club. All visits are by appointment only. Walk-in access shall not be permitted. As previously mentioned, the Kylie Ranch South Handbook required the developer to add landscape buffers and a masonry wall. The landscaping is mature and lessens impacts of the proposed businesses in the shopping center on adjacent properties. Proposed condition of approval number 7 requires the landscaping berm and mature landscaping to be maintained throughout the life of the property. This proposed condition of approval also requires the replacement of any of the trees or plants if they die. Finding C5, public notice was published in the Reno Gazette Journal on December 2nd, and notices were mailed to 50 owners of property within 500 feet of the subject property. As of today, staff has received no public comments. Overall, staff believes that the unique nature of the recreation and sports facility use, availability of parking, and the existing mature landscaping on the subject site provide compatibility with adjacent properties and mitigate land use planning concerns. Staff is recommending approval of this conditional use permit for a recreation and sports facility use, specifically a golf simulator. Thank you, and I'm available for any questions, as is the applicant.
All right, thank you, Kim. Commissioners, do we have any questions for staff? Okay, I see none. Does the applicant want to add anything? Or, no, we're good. Commissioners, do we have questions for the applicant? All right, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, it's public hearing comment? That's right. Maybe I want to get this meeting done early. So, this is a public hearing comment. Does anybody in the public wish to comment on this particular item? Okay, I see none. I will close public hearing comments. All right, now I'll entertain a motion. All right, commissioners, do we have any further discussion? All right,
Okay. I move to approve the conditional use permit CU 25-0014 associated with PCN 6024 to allow for a 2,596 square foot recreation and sports facility within an existing building located at 5318 Sparks Boulevard, Sparks, Nevada, APN 516-380-39, based on findings C1 through C5 and the facts supporting these findings as set forth in the staff report and subject to the 9 conditions of approval as listed in the staff report.
A second.
all right, we got a move by Commissioner Rodriguez Elkins, a second by Commissioner Kramer. Let's vote.
Mine is adopted.
All right, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
All right, public hearing item PCN 25-0018/CU 25-0015.
Good evening, Chair Rawson, members of the Planning Commission. For the record, Kobe Glano, planner with the City of Sparks. This item is a request for a conditional use permit to allow for the operation of a vehicle sales use in the industrial zoning district on a 0.48 acre site located at the northeast corner of Freeport Boulevard and South 21st Street. The subject site is outlined in red and is located just west of Baldini's Casino. In accordance with Sparks Municipal Code, in order to operate a vehicle sales use in the industrial zoning district, a conditional use permit is required, which is the reason for this request today. The project site is currently developed with a one-story, 6,400 square foot industrial building with 2 tenant spaces that was originally constructed in 1966. The western portion of the existing building is proposed to consist of 3,250 square feet of vehicle sale operations. And the eastern portion of the existing building is currently operating as a 3,150 square foot vehicle repair use as seen in exhibit number 4. I would like to again point out that a structure fire occurred within the building in early 2024. Over the past year, the property owner has worked with the city to obtain all the necessary permits for repairs, and that construction is now complete. The applicant is now looking to move into the western tenant space adjacent to 21st Street and operate that, the requested vehicle sales use. Staff analyzed 3 main components with this request: access and parking, vehicle storage, and customer access and hours. Primary access to the site is from Freeport Boulevard. A secondary access is provided from 21st Street, and an additional access to the site is provided from a private adjacent alleyway located to the east of the site. Sparks Municipal Code requires 1 parking space for every 500 square feet of building floor area for both a vehicle sales use and a light auto and truck repair use. Cumulatively, Sparks Municipal Code requires a total of 13 parking spaces to be provided on the site, 7 for the vehicle sales use and 6 for the light auto repair use. One of these parking spaces must be ADA compliant and van accessible. According to the site plan that's shown on the screen and the parking analysis, a total of 13 parking spaces will be provided on the site, one of which is van accessible, which meets that minimum parking requirement. All vehicles for sale are proposed to be stored indoors with no outdoor display or storage. According to the applicant, the proposed vehicle sales will operate on an appointment-only basis and will accommodate no more than 3 customers at any one time. Additionally, the proposed hours of operation for the vehicle sales is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. With the background and analysis concluded, I'll transition over to the findings. There's 5 findings that the Planning Commission is required to make in order to approve the conditional use permit, all of which staff has been able to make. For finding C1, use of the subject site for vehicle sales would provide for continued industrial operations on the site, which is located south of Interstate 80 in support of policy MG2. Staff believes the proposed vehicle sales will support goal MG14 by encouraging additional investment in a currently vacant tenant space within the city's industrial area, which is an important employment center for the region. Additionally, allowing small-scale vehicle sales on a developed site that has appropriate zoning and infrastructure would help establish a new small business in the city in support of policy EV6. For finding C2, all properties adjacent to the subject site are located within the industrial zoning district. To the north are auto and truck repair and vehicle sale uses. To the east is an auto and truck repair use, and then further east is the Baldini's Casino, which is in the TC or Tourist Commercial Zoning District. To the south of the site is a wholesale distribution and warehousing use, and to the west, across 21st Street, is a vacant industrial building. Staff believes the proposed vehicle sales use on this site is compatible with the adjacent surrounding area. The subject site was developed in 1966 with a one-story, two-tenant industrial building, which has continuously accommodated industrial uses since its construction. Staff believes the appointment-only vehicle sales operation will result in fewer trips generated as compared to a typical or more large-scale dealership. And as discussed in the analysis, the site meets the minimum amount of parking spaces. For these reasons, staff believes that finding C2 can be made. For finding C3, the potential impairment of natural resources and the total population which available natural resources will support without reasonable impairment was previously considered when the site was assigned an industrial land use designation within the city's comprehensive plan. City staff does not believe the approval of this conditional use permit will impair the availability of those natural resources. Finding C4 relates to mitigating impacts through conditions. Building off the parking information I previously provided, proposed condition number 5 requires all vehicles offered for sale must be stored indoors and prohibits any outdoor display or storage of vehicles. The proposed condition is intended to avoid vehicles being parked within city right-of-way and make sure that enough parking is on the site to accommodate employee and customer vehicles. Proposed condition number 6 would require the applicant to stripe the parking lot to make sure that the people visiting the site know where to park. As the site currently does not have any ADA or van accessible spaces, condition 7 further requires the applicant to create one of the ADA spaces on the site prior to issuance of a business license. Moving to customer access, proposed condition number 8 limits all customer visits to appointment only and prohibits walk-ins. Staff believes that limiting the hours for the vehicle sales use from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Sunday will help further mitigate land use impacts to the other tenant on the site, as well as to adjacent properties, and proposed condition number 9 would limit operations to those hours. For finding C5, public notice was sent to 59 property owners and published in RGJ on December 3rd, 2025, as prescribed by NRS and Sparks Municipal Code. And as of today, staff has received no public comment. Staff believes the required findings can be made and is recommending the Planning Commission approve the conditional use permit. Thank you. And with that, I'm available for any questions, as is the applicant.
Thank you, Kobe. Commissioners, do we have any questions for staff? Does the applicant want to add anything? Okay, does any commissioners have questions for the applicant?
Just for the
Luce,
applicant.
you want to come up? And then just state your name.
Want me to sit? Hi.
Just out of curiosity, you state, the staff report states that there'll be no outdoor parking of vehicles. How many vehicles can you park inside of there?
At
one
maximum,
time.
at maximum, just obviously depending on size, between 17 and 20.
Okay. All right, that's
That's it.
truly all I needed to know.
Thank you.
It's like, how many cars can you park in there?
You should come in. It's tight. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
not a
say
very
it's gotta
big
be
space
tight.
for that many vehicles.
So you anticipate just, it's like a revolving door.
Correct.
One comes in, one goes out,
Correct.
And you don't expect to have a large inventory of anything?
No,
Okay,
no.
thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any more questions for the applicant? Nope. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing item. Does anyone from the public wish to comment on this? I see none. I will close public comment I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the conditional use permit CU 25-0015 associated with PCN 25-0018 to allow vehicle sales within a portion of an existing industrial building located on a 0.48 acre site at 2090 Freeport Boulevard, APN 034-03137 in the I Industrial Zoning District based on findings C1 through C5 and the facts supporting these findings as set forth in the staff report and subject to the 12 conditions of approval.
Second.
All right, we got a move by Commissioner Kramer, a second by Commissioner Nieberline. Commissioners, do we have any further discussion?
No.
All right, let's vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Kobe.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to public hearing item PCN 16045 /CU 25-0016.
Good evening again. I'm Dani Ray, Senior Planner, presenting this request to you today, which is an amendment to a previously approved conditional use permit to allow the operation and construction of a hotel at 1407 Shields Drive in the Legends at Sparks Marina Handbook. The project's 3.66 acre site located here as shown, outlined in red on the vicinity map, and is located in the Legends at Sparks Marina plan development. It's currently partially developed with a parking lot here and here, with the remainder of the parcel undeveloped. The site is generally located west of Sparks Boulevard, north of Big Fish Drive, east of Shields Drive, and south of East Lincoln Way. This project was originally approved by the Planning Commission at its April 18th, 2024 meeting. This application seeks to amend that CUP with material, color, and articulation changes in the architectural elevations. These modifications propose to reflect the branding of both the AC Hotels Marriott side and the Element by Westin hotel brands within a common building. The dual-branded hotel proposes to be 4 stories, 103,651 square feet, and 199 rooms. The Legends Handbook provides the regulatory framework for the Legends plan development and permits uses allowed in the City of Sparks TC, or Tourist Commercial zoning district, including hotels with more than 150 rooms as a permitted use with approval of a conditional use permit. The purpose of a CUP is to ensure compatibility with surrounding uses and to identify potential impacts and ensure adequate mitigation of those impacts associated with the operation of the hotel use. The proposed 4-story hotel would be in an area surrounded by commercial development within Legends. And for reference, both the existing hotels within Legends and the recently approved Home 2 Suites Hotel are also 4 stories in height. The subject site is currently partially developed with the parking lot, with an undeveloped portion of the site where the hotel is proposed to be located. And this is the outline on the site plan of the hotel footprint. The parking lot's part of the shared parking supply provided for all of Legends plan development. A parking analysis was originally provided by the master developer, Red Development, with the originally approved CUP, and that includes all current and potential uses on the entire Legends PD site. The analysis indicates the required would be 6,105 parking spaces. Legends currently has a supply of 600 and 492 spaces of shared parking facilities throughout the site. That does not include the additional parking spaces the Planning Commission just considered in that architectural building elevation review. Trip generation for this use is estimated to be 1,598 average daily trips with 1,614 Saturday trips. Estimated peak hour trips are 92 weekday AM and 118 weekday PM and 144 Saturday peak hour. The exterior architecture, staff believes meets the architectural design requirements for the Legends Plan development contained within the handbook and provides a wide variety of materials, colors, and dimensional articulation. The roof line is varied. The building sides include both color and dimensional articulation, is L-shaped on the northern portion of the project. The reddish brown and very dark gray accent colors encompass less than 25% of the building's elevations per the handbook standards. The overall height of the building is 49 feet, 55 feet at the parapet. Exterior materials provide compatibility with nearby existing buildings, consist of EIFS or exterior insulation finish system, stucco, stone, brick, and metal in earth tone palette. There will be a single main entrance to the building. Shown here are the color palette and a nearby building utilizing a similar color and material palette. As we discussed in the study session on Tuesday, we have two distinct color variations here. Over here, this is the Sparks Boulevard elevation. So over here on the north side, we see more of a warm color palette with reddish brown. And on the northern side, all around the banding is the dark, kind of a charcoal gray with a more muted, cooler palette to it. These colors are reddish colors we see all throughout Legends and quite a few of the buildings. But we also see this color here, this charcoal color, as we see on an adjacent building. I think that's Jersey Mike's over there, on Blaze Pizza right over here has the same color palette. There will be a porte-cochere shown here at the front of the building, providing a dramatic focal point at the entrance. Parapets surrounding the building at the roof line will provide screening for any rooftop mounted equipment. There are several amenities provided for the convenience of the hotel guests in the project, including a lobby and lounge area, a bar and lounge area, a dining room, laundry facilities, fitness and exercise room, an indoor swimming pool, a meeting room reserved for guests only, and ancillary back-of-house support uses. So the colors that will be provided here are white haze, natural white, spectrum brown, and sandalwood beige, super white, and licorice, all in the EIFS stucco. For stone, masonry veneer, Boulder Creek Fast Track, Cheyenne Ridge, and brick, Sioux City brick in a desert blend, and dark gray to match color and texture of the building in the south. Aluminum wall panel and awnings, color well to 500, bright silver, and metal panels are Cawirn Champagne. So landscape plans demonstrate both the current landscape conditions as well as proposed combined in here. The finished parking lots are currently landscaped already in good condition. The handbook states that 20% of the total site shall be landscaped. However, it does not provide parcel-specific direction and instead directs to the Sparks Municipal Code for specific standards that are not found in the handbook. As such, Sparks Municipal Code does allow for 10% total landscaping coverage for sites within the TC zoning district, which we've already mentioned. In the TC zoning district is what the handbook uses for development standards not referred to in the handbook itself and for uses. It is the underlying zoning district the handbook directs to. The proposed landscaping area and tree count is proposed at 15%, so 50% more than the minimum requirement. Let's see, but that does represent 5% less than total 20% that it mentions for the entire project. Also, as we discussed in the study session, I did go back and look through our archives and try to determine over the last 20 years of development where we stand in terms of that 20% and was unable to do so. Many of those cases did not give a total number, a total percentage. But again, eyeballing it, when we see the level of, or the amount, not shown in here, but the amount of landscaping and 20-foot buffers along Sparks Boulevard, all down the center medians, at the roundabouts, and then, of course, in the shopping center itself, you know, the preponderance of landscaping there, both softscape and hardscape, plant materials and so forth. This planner does believe that we are meeting or exceeding that 20% just by eyeballing. So Legends as a whole is heavily landscaped. Move on. Total of 48 trees are provided for the hotel site, plus an additional 22 trees for the parking area, for a total of 70 trees on this site. In addition, 420 shrubs are provided, meeting the 6 shrubs per tree requirement in the handbook. Creative use of trees and landscaping materials act to provide conformance with both the handbook and compatibility with the landscaping in the greater Legends of Sparks Marina plan development. So moving forward, there are 5 findings the Planning Commission must consider. So for finding C1, the comprehensive plan land use designation for this site is mixed use district, mixed use commercial, MUD, MUC. Hotel uses are allowable for this land use designation, subject to approval of a CUP supporting goals MG1, MG2, and EV1. The development of a hotel use also allows for an environment in which businesses can build in the city of Sparks, contributing to goal EV1. There are tourist, commercial, and industrial uses across Sparks Boulevard to the east, and surrounding the subject parcel are a variety of commercial uses located within the Legends Plan Development and Shopping Center. The architectural elevations for the building incorporate many of the development and architectural standards described in the handbook and found throughout Legends. The architectural design reflects that which is near the project site, while also maintaining individuality and color treatment, again, in support of finding C2. For finding C3, this use does not produce any negative impact directly to natural resources, since the subject site has been previously reviewed as part of the comprehensive plan update process. And finding C4 is concerned with addressing identified impacts such as the following. So parking. There are overall 6,105 parking spaces within Legends, and that exceeds what's required by existing and potential uses by 388 spaces. For traffic, the trip generation estimates fit within the overall trip generation of the approved traffic study, based within the existing land uses built and or approved to date within the Legends plan development. No additional turn lanes at the project access points or other improvements are recommended for this project. For sewer facilities, the city has the capacity to provide sewer service, as the proposed development is in the allotment of the Tumwharf sewer capacity, and no sewer infrastructure improvements are required for this project. For lighting and noise, impacts are anticipated from light and noise for this project and are consistent with the existing uses, and the commercial nature of the area and parking area lighting is already in place. There is no residential uses within very close proximity to this project. And finally, for finding C5, public notice was published in the Reno Gazette Journal on December 2nd, 2025, when notices also were mailed to 58 property owners within 500 feet of the subject property. The Planning Commission meeting functions as the public hearing for this item as required by Nevada revised statutes and Sparks Municipal Code. And as of the time of this meeting, staff has not received any public comment on this item. So this concludes my presentation. Staff does recommend approval of this item, and I've provided the recommended motion on your screens. I'm available for questions, as is the applicant.
Thank you, Danny. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Commissioners, do we have any questions for staff?
I do. Go ahead.
Commissioner Rodriguez Elkins.
Danny, thank you. It's a great report. Just curious, is that a shared drive between the back of the hotel and the businesses that are already existing there?
This is part of the building. That's the easement, sanitary sewer easement. So let's move.
Yeah, looking at the color landscape plans, I could see it better.
The landscape plan,
Uh-huh. There's the,
the property
see
line.
between the back of the hotel and then the Chase and the other businesses, that's a shared driveway.
We have the applicant come up and answer that.
Sure.
Sure.
Hi.
And are you, just to confirm, you're
Just
talking
state your name, please.
Oh, I'm Matt Larson with Baywood Hotels.
Thank you.
Right along here.
I believe that's a public road right there.
It would be private, not public.
Oh, private, but our property line doesn't go to the other side of the road.
Right, so, but it looks like it's proposed path for the hotel and then the existing path for the businesses. And so that's just a shared drive between the two.
Correct.
Yeah, there's not a fence or anything
No,
like that.
no, it'll be access through there.
Okay, and I assume on the north side as well. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Commissioner Kramer?
I do. I think before we approve this or go any further, the project description in the conditions of approval is not accurate. It says this project approval is limited to the construction and establishment of a hotel use and a multifamily use located at 1275 East Prater Way. I
Oh,
think we
dear.
need to make an adjustment to that.
Okay, thank you for catching that. Okay.
Going, wait a minute, I thought that was almost done.
Yeah, good case.
So I think we need to make that correction.
Don't have it printed with me. I can run back to my office if we want to.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if you could, we could go ahead and just do a brief recess. We'll go ahead and get some draft language together
Okay.
for the Planning Commission to consider in terms of amending what is going to be condition of approval number 3 for this project. We'll bring it right back.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
I just want to make
Take
sure
a
that we
short
dot our i's and cross our t's properly here.
Correct.
We'll stick to the hotel business.
Okay. Good catch. Mike, call a recess.
I did.
Okay. God, I'm looking at that going, what? I thought we did that one. I drive by that hotel every day. Wait a minute, it's almost finished. That's not gonna work.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And
business,
how
Mike.
old is it?
This is,
1977 or
let me
earlier?
clarify.
personalized services for
Not
Burger
necessarily,
King, right?
well, not necessarily. And sometimes she doesn't have a 21-year-old over there
Yeah,
to
for
serve
their
alcohol.
alcohol. Very important part of the meal.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean,
it is.
you know, burger and beer, right?
Yeah. I tell you, they have the best onion rings though.
I know.
That big, different kinds of burgers and fried pickles as well. Yeah,
Burger and
NV, yep.
She has a half-pound burger.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I would cut it in half.
Businesses.
Yeah.
There's nothing driving them out. You even talked to Great Basin Brewery down there. It's been,
Didn't one of them close? Great Base closed.
I'm ready.
Still working on the motion, but good catch.
Great Basin closed, didn't they?
Thanks for reading.
Great Basin
Yeah.
Brewery?
Yeah.
Paying
No, they're
attention.
open.
Oh, no, the wine, the
Patty and
wine,
Irene's and,
Elkins did want to point out one of the conditions of approval. Right here, number 12, applicant shall provide documentation demonstrating all cross-access utility easements, et cetera.
perfect. Thank you.
all right, commissioners, any more questions? Any more comments? All right, this is a public hearing
Elkins
item.
did
I
want to
will open
point
it up
out
for
one of the
public comment.
conditions of
Does anybody
approval.
wish to make a public comment?
Right here, number 12, applicant shall provide documentation demonstrating all cross-access utility easements.
No,
et
Jose,
cetera.
who's that?
I had the meeting pulled up.
God, is that you?
Deep delay. There we go. right, I see no public comment. I will close public comment. I will entertain the motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve CU 25-00016, an amendment to conditional use permit CU 24-0003 to allow for the construction and operation of a hotel use at 1407 Shields Drive based on findings C1 through C5 and the facts supporting these findings as set forth in the staff report and subject to the 14 conditions of approval as listed in the staff report, except for condition of approval 3 that is modified to read the project approval is limited to a hotel use located at 1407 Shields Drive.
Second.
All right, we got a move by Commissioner Kramer, a second by Commissioner Rodriguez Elkins. Commissioners, do we have any more discussion, questions? All right, let's vote, please. All right, the motion passes unanimously.
Thanks for making that change.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
finding it.
Unless you want to get into the multifamily business. Okay.
Not in the hotel. All right, we'll move on to announcements from staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do want to highlight that coming up on your January agenda next month is going to be an item for you to consider your rules of procedure. And so, in between now and then, if you want to give thought to any desire that you may have to change the meeting time for the Planning Commission start from 6 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., the rules of procedure and modifying those would give you the opportunity to do so. Certainly, if there's any other changes that you're thinking about making, that would be an opportunity to identify those changes. If there are changes that the Planning Commission would make, we'd ultimately get input from you at that January meeting, bring back changes. But just wanted to flag that in case there's anything that's been on your mind, maybe that meeting time. And with that, I have no other announcements other than happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you, Sienna.
All right. I'll open it up for general comments from the public. I see none. I will close public comment. Commissioner, do we have any announcements? Anything?
I do like her idea at 5:30 might be easier for the staff. So
Okay.
something to think about. Pardon? Yeah, with traffic coming from the south. That
We
is,
can discuss that during the Tuesday meeting and give it good discussion, I'd say. Think about that, 5:30 to 6:30.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I call this meeting adjourned.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a Merry Christmas.
Here's where the traffic comes.